These are the 4 different strategies that I use when I am talking to a seller, and this is how I structure a deal. For myself, anytime I am talking to a seller, I am trying to understand the goals of the seller. I think this is one of the biggest points that a lot of people miss, and they fail to build relationship, 1, but 2, fail to identify the goals of the seller. Once you're able to identify the goals of the seller, then you're able to decide how you're going to structure this deal. The 4 different strategies that I use when I'm structuring a deal are either 1, subject to. Subject to is when I take over the current seller's mortgage. I take the deed of the property, which is the ownership of the property, and I continue to make payments to the seller. Typically, these are sellers that have some sort of pain or can't afford making the payments no more. For whatever reason, this is why I am trying to identify the seller's goal. The second strategy that I use are hybrid deals. So this is a subject to deal. However, if the seller has equity in the property, meaning they have a balance of $100,000, but the property is worth $150,000. There is $50,000 in equity that the seller is technically entitled to. So a hybrid deal is where I come in, I take over the current mortgage subject to, meaning I'm gonna continue making payments on that debt, and then the $50,000, I seller finance that, meaning I finance that with the seller. This is when the seller becomes my bank, so I am making payments to the seller on those $50,000. Now, don't let this go over your head. A lot of the times people are, Chris, what are we going to make the payments on? Keep it very simple. Just what the bank is, what you and the seller are able to work together, what makes sense for you as an investor. And also, the seller is not leaving no equity on the table, so this is a win-win situation for both you and the seller. The next way I structure deals are, if the house is paid off, I then ask the seller to become my bank, meaning we will do a seller finance deal. Now, a lot of times people always want to cut this out of the equation without even talking to the seller or identifying the goals of the seller. This is why when you are talking to a seller, it is important for you to focus on the relationship, focus on the goals, because assuming is not going to allow you to structure the deal. But when you dig in deep onto the motivation of why they want to sell, this is going to allow you to create opportunity for you to go in and ask the seller to do a seller finance deals. There are so many benefits to this. I actually made a video on why a seller would want to seller finance a property. Go check it out. Go like it, go comment, and make sure that you leave down in the comments that you came and you watched the second part of this video. The last way I'm able to structure our deal is making cash offer. Typically, my cash offers are below market. So a lot of times people say, Chris, you just come in and you lowball sellers. That is incorrect. This is where creative finance comes in, where it allows you to create a win-win situation. You maximize the seller's deal if they don't want a cash offer. Now, there's sometimes sellers just want to get out of a house. This is where you come in, you offer a cash offer. Typically, this is below market minus the repairs. That is going to be my cash offer because I want to make sure that I'm able to go to one of my lenders and line up the financing. These are 4 different strategies that I use to go out there and buy real estate. Make sure you follow me on all my social handles. Make sure you like, you comment, and most importantly to me, subscribe so that way I know you gain some value out of this video. Let's grow, baby!